Here are some dark psychology facts you need to know. First, love bombing. It feels like a fairy tale, but it's a trap. A manipulator overwhelms you with intense affection and gifts to create dependency and blind you to future abuse. Next, the foot in the door technique. How a small yes leads to a big one. They get you to agree to a small, harmless request first, making you far more likely to comply with a much larger demand later. Then there's you hear things like, "You're just being crazy," or "That never happened." A manipulator will deny your reality and make you question your own memory, all to gain control over your perception. Ever met someone who likes all the same things you do? It might not be a coincidence. When someone subtly mimics your body language and speech, they're building rapid, often false, rapport to seem more trustworthy. Let's talk about scarcity. It's why limited time offers work so well. This principle makes us desire something more if we believe it's scarce, triggering a fear of missing out and clouding our rational judgment. Another tactic is the weaponization of empathy. A manipulator makes you feel responsible for their emotions or situation, using your own conscience against you to control your behavior. Have you heard of strategic incompetence? They're not bad at it, they're strategic. Someone pretends to be bad at a simple task, so you eventually give up and do it yourself, relieving them of the duty. The offer was too good to be true. You're lured in with an appealing promise, only for the terms to be switched to something worse after you're already committed. Social proof is the power of everyone else's doing it. This tactic uses peer pressure to make you conform, making you doubt your own judgment and just fall in line with the crowd. Here's a strange one. Asking for a small favor can make someone like you more. The act of helping you makes them subconsciously justify why they like you. It's called the Ben Franklin effect. Future faking is when they promise a future they never plan to give. A manipulator paints a perfect picture of your life together to hook you with hope, with no intention of ever following through. The door in the face technique is how a big no leads to a small yes. They start with an outrageously large request you'll obviously reject, so their following smaller request seems reasonable by comparison. Isolation is a classic abuser's tactic. They cut you off from your lifelines, gradually separating you from friends and family, making you dependent solely on them and less likely to seek help. Conditional affection is affection that comes with a price tag. You only receive praise and rewards from them when you comply with their wishes, training you to constantly seek their approval. They're always the victim. By portraying themselves as the one who's hurt in every situation, they deflect all blame and make you feel guilty for even confronting them. Moral licensing is why some good people do bad things. After someone does a good deed in public, they may feel psychologically licensed to act unethically in private. Here's the secret to who holds the power in a relationship. It's often the person who is perceived to care the least. Triangulation is when they bring a third person into your drama. A manipulator introduces another person into your dynamic to create jealousy, insecurity, and to validate their own point of view. Anchoring bias means the first number you hear is everything. The initial piece of information you get skews all your subsequent decisions, even if that anchor was completely random. Your mind hates contradictions. A manipulator gets you to act against your own values, forcing your mind to justify the act just to reduce that mental discomfort. It's called cognitive dissonance. Tell them they can't, and they will. Telling someone they probably can't do something can trigger their defiance, making them more likely to do it just to prove you wrong. Why do toxic exes suddenly come back? It's called hoovering, named after the vacuum. This is when a toxic person sucks you back into a relationship with fake promises after a period of silence. Nobody is looking at you as much as you think. We drastically overestimate how much others notice our appearance. Manipulators exploit this self-consciousness to make you feel judged and insecure. Weaponized incompetence is a weakness. It's a strength. Someone cultivates an image of being a helpless victim to manipulate others into taking care of them or giving them resources. The illusion of choice. You feel in control, but you're not. They'll ask, "Do you want to do this now or after dinner?" Both options lead to the same outcome the manipulator wants. Fear then relief. Manipulators create an atmosphere of urgency and exclusivity, pushing you to act impulsively before you have a chance to think things through. The sunk cost fallacy is the reason you stay in a bad situation. People continue an endeavor simply because of their past investments. You think, "I've spent 5 years. I can't leave now," even when it's harmful. Word salad. When confronted, a manipulator responds with confusing nonsense to overwhelm you until you're too exhausted to argue any further. Mirroring. The con artist who becomes your twin. A manipulator will change their entire personality and interests to perfectly match their current target and build a deep, but false, sense of trust. Intermittent reinforcement is the psychology of a slot machine. Unpredictable rewards of affection or praise create an addictive cycle that forms a powerful and incredibly hard to break trauma bond. Recognizing these tactics is the first step to protecting yourself. Thanks for watching.